So Flat2 VR mod just came out for Portal 2, and I can't tell you how long I've been waiting for this.
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time.
Ever since the short Portal Stories experience, where it was basically Portal without the portals, or as a friend of mine on Steam put, it's the LaCroix version of Portal, I long for the real Portal in VR. The problem is, anytime a VR game has you move faster than a snail, it's met with comments about how much it's going to make you vomit. But I don't get sick in VR, and I'm not trying to say it's not real or anything. The first time my wife tried free Locomotion in Pavlov, she nearly fell over instantly.
I've fallen, and I can't get up!
We're sending help immediately.
But I think it's largely overblown, and VR is trending towards deeper experiences as more and more are getting their VR legs. Even my wife can hop, skip, in a Wii in Rec Room now. And you look at how games evolved. First it was teleport only.
At the dawn of our virtual world, many early inhabitants found themselves limited by the primitive concepts of short-range warp locomotion.
And then when free Locomotion came out, you had actual clowns who thought that teleport was OP.
Teleporter, they have a teleport, everyone watch out. When the warp...
And then developers started using cockpits because it grounded players to their environment. But now we can have free Locomotion at high speeds. I've read comments on this mod of players who say that they would normally be susceptible to VR sickness, but felt fine because of the snap instead of smooth reorientation when going through the portals. I think we just need more innovation in how we can translate these games in a manner that would appeal to people who get sick, but not also limit the games from doing things just because of it as well. Valve themselves even stated that when they were developing Half-Life Alyx, they thought about the various types of games they could make, and decided against Portal out of fear of ostracizing players who may get VR sickness easily. But in my opinion, Valve played it too safe. I mean, look at Half-Life Alyx for example. They nearly halved the movement speed from Half-Life 2 speeds. Even though it might have affected the balance, I had to add this launch option in because it felt so sluggish. There's no jumping either, you're forced to teleport over gaps or into tight spots. And despite the jank in Boneworks, jumping up to grab ammo off the shelf and then pulling it down to smash it open, the little things like that just add so much to the immersion for me. Oh, and there's no physics with your weapons or hands like there is in Boneworks. I remember moments where I'd swat away head crabs because I panicked from running out of ammo, but in Half-Life Alyx it sort of just slaps them. Hell, a few weeks before it came out, people threw a fit because it didn't even have climbable ladders. Can you imagine that? A VR game without ladders that you can climb up? The decision just sounds goofy nowadays, but they had to hotfix it in before release because everyone was comparing it to Boneworks that had just released right before it. Now, I'll let you know, I'm not much of a single player kind of guy. The game really has to draw me in, but Half-Life Alyx still held up as one of the best single player experiences, if not games in general, I've ever played. I look past its faults because the immersion is like extra credit applied to an exam, it just boosts the score up so high. But that being said, it also means that I feel like the base part of the game has room for improvement. The extra credit of it being in VR could boost it even further into goated territory. Like when Half-Life 2 VR came out, I legit played that non-stop until completion.
Welcome to City 17.
I had played Half-Life 2 as a kid and got past Ravenholm but never quite finished it. So replaying it was like this dream mixture of nostalgia and new content at the same time. Plus, after playing Half-Life Alyx, I started to see how it all pieced together, so I was having meta enjoyment from multiple layers of fun I was having.
The Combine drain from us the power they use to protect their weapon.
When Portal 2 just came out, I got the notification 30 minutes later in Discord, instantly went to download it, and played it till completion in about 5 hours with breaks. I'd never played but the co-op and the beginning of the campaign in the game, so again, it was like a mixture of nostalgia and new content. But I don't want to make it seem like it's just nostalgia that's carrying it. These games have long, sprawling, well thought out levels.
Can you get out?
They're fully voice acted.
I heard gunfire! It's a bit late this, but look out for gunfire. Probably doesn't help at this point, but I have at least tried. You're okay? Great, come on!
They have engaging storylines.
Keep it up! That did it! Neurotoxin at 0%, yes! Hold on.
Warning. Neurotoxin pressure has reached dangerously unlethal levels.
And while a lot of people discount Flat2 VR mods as not being real VR because they lack motion controls or other features, it's like, what is even real VR?
good. We can ride it straight to her. I can't. Hold on. Come on. Come on. We have to go. Hurry.
It reminds me of people bashing Luke Ross's Grand Theft Auto mod as not being worthwhile because it doesn't have hand tracking, but just the driving alone is immersive for me. And no one complains about Assetto Corsa or the likes not having it. I think VR adds so much to these games that I see them as the gold standard. Like, I can't see myself going back to Half-Life 2, and if you aren't playing them because they aren't perfect ground-up experiences, then I think you're leaving a lot of fun times on the table. You just don't get the same feeling when you're riding the hoverboat, looking around with your actual head, being chased by a life-size helicopter with bullets zipping around your head. I feel like I'm in a movie, but in Flat, I feel like I'm just watching one. And then you got the Left4Dead2 VR mod. Probably one of the most iconic zombie shooters of all time.
Let's go!
It's even fully playable cross-platform.
Help!
It's so cool being able to play with my friends who don't have VR yet. Now, it's not the prettiest of mods, but it works, and it shows me how the game could be even better if it was just made from the ground up. And I don't mean not pretty like the graphics suck, I mean, they still hold up for the time, especially in VR. It's just not as clean feeling as Portal, because unlike the Portal gun, you actually have to reload and you have to punch zombies away, both of which require button presses. So being accustomed to manual reloads like in Pavlov or Contractors, it can feel a bit more janky. And then speaking of Contractors, there's a mod group that's been pumping out a bunch of the Team Fortress 2 maps. They have most of the vanilla weapons along with some extras. They also have every class except for the Spy currently. And as I illustrated in my previous video with my playtime in Flat TF2, I've never touched grass before. But suffice to say, it's one of my favorite games ever. It's honestly really crazy how well it all works and feels like the real thing, but just with VR obviously. A good portion of my time playing Contractors is solely just to play this mod. That's how fun it is for me. And I think it's something people are interested in playing, and I know this is a small sample size, but on that TF2 video, despite being just straight gameplay, it instantly shot up to like 2K views in one day, which for my channel is pretty abnormal.
You are all weak, you are all bleeders!
Pretty much only my Zelda VR content rivals it. But then I'm hit with the random disconnects. Ones that seem to be pretty prevalent among the player base.
And the game crashed. Are you fucking kidding me?
And I don't blame the modders at all. I mean, I've made a few Contractors maps myself, and it might as well be held up with strings and tape, but I think to myself, where's Valve? It's crazy to me that modders have made an entire VR orange box and Valve is just possibly working on new hardware. And I get that they're a lateral flat company or whatever and work on whatever they want, but VR has been in the same perpetual rock and hard place since the start. There's no good games, so no one wants to buy in, and then devs don't want to make games on the risk of a small market base. There needs to be more Half-Life Alyxes in the world, and I sincerely hope that they're cooking something along with whatever new hardware is planned. Because frankly, look at Big Screen. It's great tech and I want one, but it just doesn't excite me like how the Index and Half-Life Alyx did when it first came out. Because at the end of the day, it's just going to be better graphics. At the same time, I do get the Nintendo approach of game design and just showing it off when it's done. But if I can be honest with myself, I'm a tad frustrated. Not to come across as an entitled gamer, it's just like how I mentioned before with TF2 crashing all the time in Contractors. I just know it can be better, and I know the types of products Valve can make. It's out of a love for the masterpieces they've created, and just wanting to experience them in a manner that's that much more immersive. Well, that's all I really wanted to touch on today. Let me know what you think below. Hopefully one day we'll be blessed by Lord Gaben, but until then, it's been real.
Do you understand what I'm saying? At all? Does any of this make any sense? Just tell me, just say yes.
I'm not even angry.
Okay.
I'm being so sincere right now.
Okay.
Even though you broke my heart and killed me, I'm torn